Caught up on video requests. This one from Daft Bugger. Sorry it took me so long. I've been busy. Okay, video request. This is a continuation of my previous video request regarding human consciousness. I wanted to know whether you would use teleportation if it was ever invented. If the way teleportation worked was to copy all your cells and reproduce them at the final destination, would this still be you to your friends and family, to the person at the destination? Oh look, they read more. Would appear to be the exact same size, same body and memories, etc. I wasn't sure if it was possible to transfer a soul via teleportation process. I wouldn't want to teleport if it meant my personal consciousness was erased. There would be no way to prove one way or another if the duplicate is you or a copy of you. Strangely, I've read that our human cells are replaced every few years, so we aren't even the same person we used to be. Would you feel confident enough to try teleportation? If not, would you be accepting of a lower quality of life than everyone else in society? Oh, like everybody else teleported, but I didn't because I was afraid, and then would I accept that? They would live without commutes and have instant access to awesome vacation spots. Thanks. I did a video like 4 years ago called Ramifications, Ramifications of Personal Time Travel Machines. And I basically talked about just this, but I'll do this video again since it's a request. Well, we already have those. If you believe in the aliens, where the aliens travel around, how do you think they travel around? They can't fly like we fly from here to Mars. They'd crash into little asteroids and it'd take too freaking long. You know, the closest star to here is 4.5 light years. So if you're going the speed of light, which is like faster than matter can go, it's the fastest thing we can think of that goes, when we can find that travels, and that takes 4.5 years. So you know, and people are traveling all over the space, like, you know, from hither to thither, and so you know they're not going that way. You know, they come here, you know, you wouldn't, aliens travel here like on vacation and for weekend trips and stuff, you know, or for just a second. So they come here, so they, you know, they already teleport, so it exists. And if you're gonna be able to travel, if you can imagine yourself traveling, you know, like Star Wars, to other places of the galaxy and the you know, solar system and all that universe, you have to travel. You have to teleport. And if you can imagine doing that, then that's what we will do. You know, the human soul is designed to grow, eternally grow, and the human experience is designed to grow eternally. And if you can imagine something happening, and, you know, and feel like it's the natural progress of our society, then of course it is the natural progresses of our society. That's how it works. You think of it and then you do it, and everything. And anybody who tells you otherwise is just a grumpy, angry, stupid person who doesn't like to think or talk. I mean, you know, maybe these skeptic type of people, you know, atheists. You know, I had a conversation with one of them, really stupid conversation on my the other video I did for Daft Bugger. And they're just dumb, you know. Somebody who doesn't believe, they're stupid people who grew up in a society where, you know, everybody around them chooses to disbelieve, and people who believe because, you know, they got angry with like the power the church was taking over or something, you know. I mean, just stupid reasons, man. People choose to disbelieve just to be grumpy, you know. Just like people choose to kill other people just to kill, you know. It's stupid. And people who disbelieve, they don't have reasons for why they disbelieve. They just spout out nonsense, bullshit talking points that they hear. You know, their brains aren't working. So don't take these people seriously. If you can imagine traveling to another star, then you can travel to another star. Okay, so that's it's kind of like it's kind of similar to like stupid people and smart people in politics and society. Got the stupid people who don't believe in science, and so they come up with their theory, and then they kind of choose what they're going to believe and what they're not going to believe to back up their little stupid idea, like maybe why marijuana should be illegal or why there's no global warming or stuff like this. But they don't pay attention to facts. Well, you can actually use that kind of mentality in a good way. You create a worldview, a paradigm that you want to live by, and then you have everything fit that. But the thing is, if you have a paradigm that is open-minded and offers you a way out and a way to grow, then by default it's the correct paradigm. And all of the scientific data is going to support that, and that's what you will find. But you have to have an open mind. You have to believe. And if you disbelieve, then you're just not gonna pay attention to the facts, and you're just gonna have you're gonna tweak facts to suit your idea. So anyways, that's basically how you know what's true and what's not. It's not even from the facts. It's kind of the similarity between alchemy and chemistry. In the days of alchemy, there was just not that much knowledge about the world, and so people would come up with ideas about how this chemical stuff happens, and then they would use their imagination, and then they would do the, experiments to revolve around that, and you come up with pretty cool theories, pretty open-minded stuff you can plug into, like platonic solids and all that kind of stuff. Anyways, but then when chemistry comes around, it kind of reverses, and you just base all of your ideas about the world just on the facts. But right now with this whole teleportation, everything, we're kind of in the alchemy stages, and so we're in the imagination, and as long as you follow the golden rule of imagination, just anything's possible. Whatever you imagine happens, then that's what you believe. So right now we should believe in teleportation, that it exists. We just don't know how it happens. Now the ramifications of all that, and the evidence also, of stories of just people with their going to Mars and stuff, and then the pictures and I don't know, whatever. But anyways, so that's what we have coming down the pipeline. But it's not just teleportation; it's also time travel. Teleportation and time travel are kind of the same thing. They're just teleportation would be like version 1, and time travel would be the 2.0 of the teleportation machine, because when you're going to another time period, it's kind of like going to another place. Like each period of time you're in a different reality, and so in the future, when we're, and maybe not so far in the future either, like maybe a couple thousand years, between where we are now, or where we will be in 100 years, and between where we are like now and Jesus is kind of the same, between where we are now and when we can time travel, more or less. And so, but when you time travel, there is that prime directive, where you don't tamper with the stuff you're time traveling to too much, and you tamper it in a good way. By the time we're able to do that, we have a society that's utopian enough where you don't have to worry about people, fucking shit up. Too bad, anyways. Because people have done time travel with us in the past and helped us and screwed us up and done all kinds of stuff. That's where the gods of the Bible and all that come from, and the Greek gods and all that. Time travelers from the future, human beings. That's one way you can look at it. Because when you start when you can do that kind of stuff, it's like, well, are they time traveling, or do they live in the same time frame as you? And that's kind of defining whether or not they live in the time frame or you, or if they're future or not, is kind of up for, it's all relative, because if they're hanging out with you all the time, then they're living in your time period, you know what I mean? Even if they originate from another time period. But anyways, this is like a subject that you could talk forever about. But But see, the fact of the matter is that people, how much technology we have depends on how open-minded we are and how ready we are as a society. So if we're all, if nobody's racist and everything, then we can open all the borders in all the countries. It all depends on how much of trusting we are with each other. Once we open up all the borders of the countries, then we would have this huge. We could shift the industry from security, killing wars and all that kind of shit, to transportation and tourism, and then everybody could travel from hither to thither, and then we would actually be ready, and this is a society, for teleportation machines, and then that's when we get them. If you want to have a teleportation machine, you make your society ready for one, and then the technology will magically appear. It'll be given to us, basically, from the aliens who use it. Now, how would you know that it's you? Well, you know it's you because how could it be somebody else? How could it not be you? Like when somebody calls you on the phone, how do you know if it's them? Human beings, we're smart. We have that intuition. Here, let's see what else you asked. Human consciousness. Would I use it? Yes, I would. But if they first started using it, I wouldn't be one of the first beta testers. Copy your cells and reproduce them in the final destination. And the technology for this stuff is actually pretty simple. I think the technology for any and everything is pretty simple. All you have to do is understand it in the right way, and not a confusing way. But yeah, we have. We're actually developing little microwave things right now, which can collect all the different molecules and create things. Once we map the DNA of the human being, we can create human beings. Once you know how it's built, you can build it. And so once you can map out your whole DNA of you, then you would hook up to some machine that has a wormhole connection somehow to something else, which isn't that hard. You just have a certain energy signature that only matches the other side, and then you dematerialize yourself and materialize it over there. Your soul is gonna know what's going on, and it won't detach from your body, and it'll just be there. If you do good enough of a job. When people get organ transplants, it's the same thing. Your soul just attaches to it and it works, and it's the same thing. Our human bodies are like machines, and so if you just engineer it to fit with the machine, then it works. Our human bodies will follow the same scientific laws as our computers. We're all electromagnetic devices. Energy machines. We use the same hertz and everything. We come from the earth. Our the brainwave of our brains overlaps the AM frequencies. It's about 8 hertz, about the distance between your eyes, and that's the same vibration as the earth, the Om. And so, that's how you can do, mind control, shut people's brains off and stuff, just how you can shut machines off. So, human body is just another machine. So, your friends and family, seen body memories, yeah. I wasn't sure if it was possible to transfer the soul. I wouldn't want to teleport if it meant personal consciousness was erased. Your personal consciousness never can be erased. Nothing can erase your personal consciousness. That's you. Your soul is the most dense, most powerful unit in the universe. It's the only thing in the universe that cannot be destroyed. You can destroy stars, planets, you can create nuclear bombs, you can tear apart subatomic things over and over, but you cannot damage a soul. That just doesn't, you can't. It's the most, that's the thing that everything else comes from. That's the thing, that's the source point of energy, is your soul, is you. And so along with you comes all of your memories, and so you can't erase your memories. Nothing can erase your memories. People can attach magnets to your brain and erase your memories in your brain, but once you die and you're born again, all those memories that were originally in your brain are still with your soul. You can never lose your memory. Like that saying and Christians have, God is watching you, God knows everything that you do. Well, you are that part of God that knows everything that you do. You are that God. When they say God's watching you, you're really saying you're watching yourself. And nothing that you ever do goes unnoticed by yourself. Ever. I wouldn't want to teleport. There would be no way to prove one way or another if the duplicates was you or a copy of you. Well, yeah, the same way as you would prove if you're talking on the phone. You ask questions. Hey, what did I say to you that one night at 3 in the morning? You said doogie snoogie. Oh, yes. See, how would they know that? See, that's the problem with a lot of, like, people, like, is they just freak out and they get scared for no reason, you know? You know, like, don't play the Ouija board, you're going to get possessed by the demon. No, I won't. Yes, you will. I know you will. Everybody, the demon, only bad things will happen. It's like, snap out of it, you fucking hypochondriac. Okay. Okay. Would you feel confident enough to teleport? Yeah, if everybody else did it. If not, would you be accepting of a lower quality of life than everybody else in society? No. If everybody else did it, then I'd do it. And if I didn't do it, I'd feel like one of those idiots who was afraid to, like, enjoy life, you know? You know, like, it's like that person, I know if I get in a plane, it's going to crash that one time I get in it. Well, maybe it's your destiny to die in a fucking fiery plane crash. Did that ever cross your mind? Okay, if not, would you be accepting of a lower quality of life? Okay, no, I wouldn't. Okay, that they would live without communities or even have instant access to awesome vacation spots. Exactly. So, you know, if we're going to talk about utilization of technology and, like, imagining cool futures and how we're going to use technology in a good way, you have to imagine a way to have a society that can use that technology first. You know, you have to figure out a way to not be angry at somebody just because their skin is not the same color as yours, you know, or not, you know, or their facial structure is different, you know. Like some of those Africans look weird, big old forehead. Those, like, the Ethiopians with the big old foreheads and the buck teeth. Or how about those gorilla people? They look like gorillas, and skin really black and shiny. Or little pygmy people, you know? Imagine having those little weird-looking motherfuckers running around your neighborhood. That's the kind of shit you have to imagine. And then you can use the technology to fit it in, but, you know, you have to learn how to trust other people. That's basically all it comes down to. If you build it, they will come. If you believe and you allow for them, but you have to trust, you know? You have to understand, kind of like Jesus said, you have to understand that it's better to give than to receive. It's better to be the person who gets fucked over than to be the person who fucks other people over, you know? And so just trust. Let the turd coloreds come over here and run around in our neighborhood and see how they can react, you know? And then they'll let you go and, you know, hunt ants or whatever they do and eat bugs over there and, you know, take mud baths or whatever they do. Vine bungee jumping and stuff. And we can open up the borders. That's basically what it's all about. So open up those borders, open up the borders. It's like those idiot fucks over there in Canada, you know? They wouldn't even let me go in Vancouver for a day because they didn't trust me. You know, that's the kind of shit we have to fucking cut out. If you cut that shit out, then we can use the technology. If you don't cut that out, we can't use the technology. It's that simple. Okay, peace out.